say it and open up for questions.
Somebody leave their cell phone here? Oh, those paper. My bad. High-tech stuff here. Good start this morning on Kentucky. They had a good football team, and we need to have good preparation. Was very, very pleased with practice this morning. Need to have another good Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And looking forward to getting under the lights at Williams-Brice Stadium. There's nothing like a night game at Williams-Brice. I know our players are excited about it. You can feel a buzz in the building this morning about coming back home in front of our fans, and I know that it'll be a great environment for our football team. You've got a lot of respect for Mark Stoops in his 7th year there at Kentucky, and the job he's done offensively. They lost Terry Wilson earlier in the year at the quarterback position, and Sawyer Smith's come in as a transfer from Troy. He's done a nice job for them. You know, Lynn Bowden's a guy that really jumps off the tape at you as a very good player. We'll play him at quarterback, running back. We'll put him plays him in the slot, gets the ball to him as a return. He's really electric with the ball in his hands, an outstanding competitor, and a really, really good football player. But both backs, Rose and Smoke, were good players. We were recruiting Cavassier here at South Carolina. Got a lot of respect for him. They're big and physical on the offensive line. We got a transfer, Ahmad Wagner, from, I believe, a basketball player from Iowa, a 6'5", 240-pound guy. A mismatch on the edges a little bit as far as jump balls and those things are concerned, but a really good football player and has made a bunch of plays for him here in 4 games into the season. Defensively, very big up front and stout. I mean, they're 360 at the nose, 300 plus at the 2 end positions, mostly a 3-down structure. They play some 4-down, and very active at linebacker in the secondary, and really good on special teams. Injury-wise, really Hank Manos is really struggling with his ankle. We may do the ankle cord surgery, so he'd be about 4 weeks before he'll be back in that situation. Other than that, I think we're ready to go. So I'll open up for any questions.
Raise your hand and give a microphone to you, David.
Well, with Jam deciding to leave, how does the secondary reshuffle? I mean, it's a man down, but how do you guys handle that loss?
No different than we had before. We'll be fine.
Was his decision to leave a surprise to you?
No, he just wants another opportunity. Want a better other than another situation. So we support him 100%. Love Coach and Jam. We're moving forward.
What do you want to see from your team more offensively heading into this week, and what have conversations with Brian been like going into, I guess, Kentucky?
Well, I think first of all, you know, starting the game out much better than last week, Colin, is a major issue. And we've talked in terms of running the ball to help Ryan more in some situations. You go back and evaluate, last week's game. The first 26 plays, 17 of them were called runs or RPOs. Based on how they played us and whether we're reading a first-level defender and an RPO, a second-level defender, an apex player, whatever the read may be, Ryan made really good decisions as far as throwing in those situations. I thought he made really good decisions. Now, we weren't always accurate with the throw. We didn't always win on the top end of the route, create enough separation, and we had a couple of protection issues. So there was threefold, some issues as far as the breakdowns that we had. But certainly being able to run the football, like the Alabama game, certainly is going to help. Now you also go back. Let's go back to Alabama game. To start the game, a 14-play drive. 10 of those were passes. We had a 4th and 1 speed option. We had 1 hard call run and 2 RPOs, which we handed the ball off based on the look that we got. So, we started extremely well in that ball game, throwing the football and doing the things that we felt that were most comfortable for Ryan in his 3rd start. So we'll continue to explore those things based on what Kentucky does and put us in the best situation to get out to a good start. And I think part of that has got to be running the football. There's no question.
Is changing play callers something you've ever considered on offense?
No.
Is it something you would consider during a season, or are you a believer in? Do you ever think there's value in change for change's sake and something like that to shake things up?
No, we're going to make decisions what's best for our football team.
Way back, John.
From an offensive game planning standpoint, do y'all evaluate during the season how y'all prepare for a game, whether it's play calling or putting together the game plan, or is that something y'all may look at in a bye week, for example, or is that something you assess after a season?
No, that's something you evaluate on Sunday. Every week that you take a look at what worked, what didn't work. Going into the game, what was our thought process? What what were we thinking here? Did we not get the certain look that we thought we would get? Did they change some things up? Did they do some things differently? Did we just get physically whipped at the point of attack? You know, what are all the variables? And the first thing you do as a play call is you look in the mirror. And what do we need to do to be more successful? You know, getting out to a good start obviously was really important on the road. You know, I go back to last year in 13 games, we scored on our first drive in 7 of the 13 games. That's a very high percentage of starting out the right way. In our first 3 ball games, we scored on the first series on all 3 ball games. That's really good football. Obviously, this past week, we didn't do a good enough job offensively, game planning, you know, and adjusting within the first half to get more things going offensively. And that was the evaluation. So then from there, you know, I think a little bit of it was physical. We got whipped up front. A little of it was inaccuracy in throwing the football. A little of it was not winning on the top of some routes that we needed to be able to win in some one-on-ones, because based on how they were playing us, they were challenging us to throw the football. And we didn't win well enough early in the ball game. We made some adjustments at halftime. We came out, we hit a screen pass for 75 yards. We take the next possession all the way down the field, and unfortunately have a turnover there going in. But no, John, those are all things that we evaluate, you know, on Sunday about what went right, what went wrong, and then more important is the why. You know, was it a scheme issue? Was it a planning issue? Was it a physical issue? And those are all questions that you got to be real honest with yourself, because it's easy to say, well, we got whipped. Well, you know,